And today I am joined by Girl Scout CEO Sylvia Acevedo.
Hi, Daniela.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
I'm really honored to be here. Thank you.
I want to talk about your memoir, Path to the Stars.
I think the emotional hook of the story is when we were living in this incredible area that I loved. It didn't matter to me that it was dirt streets and, you know, we were living paycheck to paycheck. I felt very happy. I had an older brother and a younger sister. In that dirt barrio, that's where the last meningitis epidemic and outbreaks happened in the United States, and some people died, and my younger sister became developmentally disabled. And that was devastating for all of us, but especially my mother. And so we moved to another part of town where the streets were paved and there wasn't a meningitis epidemic. And I'm grateful for that, because there I was able to meet some girls who were in Girl Scouts who invited me in, and I was able to be part of Girl Scouts. But it wasn't just transformative for me. My mom wanted to see what had changed in me, that I suddenly became this active, gregarious girl. So she went, and the troop leaders invited my mother in and helped her learn English. And they also helped her realize that even though she had a green card, my father hadn't helped her understand that she could also become a citizen. So my troop leaders helped my mother learn English and prepare for the citizenship test. Wow. So when I flew up from Brownie to junior, my mom also flew up and became a U.S. citizen. So in the book, I talk about that, and then what it was like, you know, taking more science and math and being in band and liking sports as well.
And you yourself have a STEM background. You were a former rocket scientist.
Yes.
Graduated from Stanford. How has that background influence your role now as a CEO of Girl Scouts?
Well, you know, I was really fortunate that I learned how much Girl Scouts had impacted my life. After I'd had a tech career, somebody at Stanford was doing research, and they said I was one of the first Hispanic, male or female, to have gotten a graduate engineering degree from Stanford. And when they asked me why, we kept going back to what was the thing that changed my life, because frankly, girls like me from southern New Mexico weren't going to Stanford. And I realized it was from Girl Scouts, my troop leader helping me understand that I could do science. And the more I took science and math, the better I got. And I got so good, I got rocket scientist good, right?
Did you have any mentors to show you the ropes when you started?
One of the things that I learned in Girl Scouts was from the cookie program, is how to create opportunity and don't leave a side of a sale until you've heard no 3 times. You know, why that really mattered was, you know, you learn in cookie sales, keep finding how to get to a yes. But how that translated into my professional life was like that example of my boss telling me, no, you can't have the job. And I'm like, why not? Well, because you're a woman, because they don't want to do business with you. Well, now I know what I have to solve for. And that attitude helped me be one of the first. When there wasn't somebody like me, I would find out, well, what's the problem I need to solve? And now I will go about and solve that. You know, there were other bosses along the way that did provide me some good mentorship opportunities. For example, they would say, you know, Sylvia, in technology, there aren't women like you. And so you have to reinforce that you went to Stanford, that you were a rocket scientist, because they look at you and they don't know where to place you.
Right.
So unlike your peers, they said you have to work that into a discussion. That helped me understand when there are very few like you, you have to help them understand and give them a frame of reference.
And at the beginning of your career, what were some of those obstacles that you faced, those daily challenges that you had to sort of navigate?
Well, one of them was there wasn't even a bathroom, okay? There wasn't even a bathroom. And so for the first...
For women.
Yeah, for women's bathrooms, you're right. So for the first 6 weeks, I brought in a bike, and I had mapped out where the closest women's bathrooms were. I drank very little. And then at lunch, I would hustle over there. And finally, after 6 weeks, they realized I wasn't going to give up. And, you know, so there were big challenges like that, that, you know, but you had to stay focused on the goal.
Do you have one big know your value moment?
So, you know, when I was on the White House Commission for Educational Excellence, I realized when the women spoke, a lot of times their comments didn't get noted, and then a male colleague would say something and his comments would get noted. So I grabbed some of the women together and I said, look, we're going to start amplifying. And so when you say something, I'm going to say, I really liked, you know, what Dr. Gondara said was fantastic. I knew what we were saying was very important, but it was getting lost. And so we had to amplify one another's message and what we were saying that really helped that message get through.
And for women of color, and minorities and women from underrepresented backgrounds, what would be your advice on how they should advocate for themselves effectively and find a voice, the voice that you found early on?
Being confident and being persistent. A lot of times people will not say yes the first time. Keep plugging at it.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.